Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. We're going to talk about Crunchyroll. I came across this article, it's from about a week ago, talking about how Crunchyroll was for sale. Yeah, this is starting to make a lot more sense because we've been talking about Crunchyroll, we've been talking about Warner Media, and talking about how, you know, it's possible that they might roll Crunchyroll into HBO Max once they get things up and running, because why would Warner Media, cash-strapped Warner Media, looking to cut its core assets, why would they spend the money on multiple streaming services? And the answer is they might not. But it might not go the way we thought it was going to go, which is they would roll Crunchyroll into HBO Max. It might be that they were looking to sell off Crunchyroll. This explains a lot, because a couple of weeks ago, we brought this article up, which sounded like a desperate plea from somebody at Crunchyroll to save the company or try to sell the company. We did talk about this in a previous video. There was this very weird article interview that popped up on an industry website that basically seemed like Crunchyroll was pleading for its life, and we're like, what is going on here? That was at the end of April. The beginning of March, on the information website, AT&T had talks about selling off Crunchyroll. Guess who they were going to sell it to? Reportedly, Sony. Guess what else Sony owns? Funimation. This is really interesting. So let's read this and see what's going on. AT&T's Warner Media has had discussions about selling off Crunchyroll, a streaming service that specializes in Japanese anime, according to people familiar with the matter. Possible buyers include Sony, which owns a rival anime service called Funimation, and which has had discussions with Warner Media in recent months. There are no active negotiations at the moment. However, according to people familiar with the situation, it's possible that COVID-19 has slowed Warner Media's sale effort. They're looking to potentially sell off Crunchyroll. Anime has become a key selling point for streaming services in recent years, and companies including Netflix have been buying up libraries of hit shows and commissioning new ones. Amazon Prime has also been adding to its library of anime offerings over the past several years. Sony paid $143 million to acquire a 95% stake in Funimation in 2017. A Warner Media spokesman declined to comment. Of course they did. They're not going to tell you what's going on. They go on to talk about how Peter Chernin started Crunchyroll by controlling stake in Crunchyroll, and they merged it into Otter Media, and then AT&T and Warner bought Otter Media. But we've seen some of Otter Media get disbanded already. We saw Machinima get shut down. Machinima has 12 million subs. 12 million subs on YouTube, and the channel is empty. They cleaned out all the content. What a waste. That's an absolute waste. But they have been doing this. Warner's been dismantling all of these digital assets, and Crunchyroll itself has value, it has brand recognition, so it sounds like rather than dismantle it, they might be looking to sell it off. One executive who might determine Crunchyroll's fate is Warner Media's new CEO, Jason Kilar, who began work in the past week. Kilar, who earlier in his career ran Hulu, has a history with anime. It was regularly one of the top performing genres on Hulu, according to one former employee, and he may see its value as part of the lineup of Warner Media's upcoming streaming service, of course, that being HBO Max. So we're starting to get a bigger picture of what's going on here. So it might be the new CEO who realizes that, you know, Hulu does do really well with anime. He might be like, stop it. We're not going to sell it off, but we might just fold the anime into HBO Max. We don't know what's going to happen, but this does shed a little light on what has been a pretty weird situation with Crunchyroll. And there's some other stuff going on too. It seems like they're padding out their executives over there, almost as if they were looking to sell off the company. I don't know. Very strange. But yeah, HBO Max is going to use anime from Crunchyroll to compete with Netflix's growing empire. They're not getting all of Crunchyroll's content, but they're getting a good chunk of it to get started. They're getting some of the most popular shows, including Full Metal Alchemist, Death Note, and a few others. And, you know, they're going to lure people over to Max with anime, because look at Netflix has anime and it's doing really well. They're actually doing original shows. Now, HBO Max has been focusing heavily on animation. In fact, they have new Cartoon Network series coming to HBO Max. I mean, this stuff would have been on Cartoon Network, right? And it might be eventually. They might run the reruns on Cartoon Network, but it's coming to HBO Max first. We have new Adventure Time, and the creator of Regular Show is doing another show called Close Enough. Now, this one, I guess, is like years late. I don't know what's going on. But they are definitely beefing up the animated content on HBO Max. So it does make sense that they're going to roll anime into that. Now, the real question is whether or not Crunchyroll will continue to survive as its own thing, or will it just become a tab on this new streaming service? We don't know yet. But there was kind of a panic. It seemed like a panic a couple of weeks ago on an industry site called The Drum. Very obscure site, but it seemed like they were trying to get the message to the right people, where they had an interview with Carter Hansel, the marketing guy, Crunchyroll's director of brand and title marketing, talking about why Crunchyroll is growing. Again, this sounded like a pitch. We've got originals. They're doing really well with the webtoon originals, I guess. Tower of God, people really seem to like that one quite a bit. And they're diversifying. They've got licensors and all this stuff. It did sound like they were trying to justify their own existence. Now, Crunchyroll has come under some scrutiny lately, especially for that office they have in San Francisco. What is it? Freaking, they have like a warehouse. They converted it into what looks like an anime con, complete with indoor cherry blossom tree. It's like, what are you guys thinking? Warner Media does not want to spend that kind of money, but as I understand it from animation industry insiders, that lease on that property, that was approved before Warner Media took control of Crunchyroll. That's my understanding. Now, they are adding some executives. So we've got news that they were potentially going to sell Crunchyroll to Sony, and now they're moving content over to HBO Max, and now they're adding new executives. It sounds like they're shoring up for something, right? Don't know what it is, though. Warner Media-owned US streamer Crunchyroll has hired a former Netflix director of content and anime in Japan. Julian Lai Hung has been named head of content strategy and business development at Crunchyroll, where he will focus on Japan and the Asia-Pacific region. His career in video streaming spans original production, licensing, and acquisition. He helped launch Netflix in Japan and oversaw the streamer's global anime category as its director of content in anime in the region. So this is a guy who's responsible for getting more anime on Netflix. While at Netflix, he was the executive producer and deal maker across a number of titles, including Terrace House, Million Yen Women, Godzilla Monster Planet, Blazing Trance for Students. He's a former VP of International Distribution and Global Sales at Warner Brothers, and the founder of an AI blockchain startup that built the world's biggest anime merchandise search engine. So based in Tokyo, he's going to focus on building Crunchyroll's content strategy, driving originals, and identifying new business opportunities with existing and new partners. So the hire comes after Crunchyroll appointed Alden Budol as head of global partnerships and content strategy, Terry Lee as head of 360 and general manager of Crunchyroll Games, and John Easom as the newly created role of head of Crunchyroll EMEA following the acquisition of Viz in Europe. So there's definitely something up at Crunchyroll. Either they're getting ready to go all in on anime and anime content and anime related content like, you know, games and merchandise and stuff, or they're putting a team together to sell the company. Because I worked at a company once where I was actually involved in helping get this company ready to be sold. And what you do is you give the company curbside appeal. You bring in executives, so there's a team, so whoever buys it doesn't necessarily have to build a team. You put like a dream team together at this company and say, yeah, these people all come with it. So it's worth more now because we got all these people. Now, whether or not these people would stay if they sold it, you know, who knows? But they're doing something. So a couple weeks after they announced that they were potentially going to sell the company off, they've got all these new hires. So something is definitely up. Some other Crunchyroll news, and this is actually kind of cool. City Hunter is going to be on Crunchyroll. So I'm actually pretty happy about that. I love vintage anime. I love classic anime from the 80s, 90s. That's what I grew up watching. That's what got me into anime in the first place. Anime series like City Hunter. And if you guys haven't checked it out, if you're looking for an alternative to Crunchyroll and Funimation Netflix, check out Retro Crush. They're in beta. I literally just found out about these guys a couple of weeks ago, because they're putting their content on Amazon Prime, but they've got like all this great 80s, 90s anime. You can go to retrocrush.tv, you can download the app, you can watch all the stuff for free. They've got GTO, we've got the old Street Fighter animated series on here, AD Police. This is all the stuff that I used to rent from Blockbuster. Project A-ko, Golgo 13, Appleseed. This was the first anime that I bought. I bought a VHS of Appleseed from Suncoast Video in, I want to say it was like 94, 95, and I paid like 35, 40 bucks for what was like a 30, 40 minute OVA. Samurai Pizza Cats, Bubblegum Crisis. I would love for there to be like one dedicated anime platform, whether it's Crunchyroll or Funimation or something else entirely, that had like everything. Like, that's it. You just subscribe to this service and they've got all this classic stuff. You don't have to go across 3 or 4 different streaming services, but Die Guard, that was actually pretty funny. I had these, a lot of these I picked up at Big Lots back in the day, like in the early 2000s. They were unloading, I think it was Pioneer. They were unloading a lot of Pioneer DVDs, and we were picking up DVDs for like $3 each. I think we have Trouble Chocolate, and we'd go around to all the Big Lots and try to find all these anime series. We usually would get like all of them but one. But we had like Mao-chan and Die Guard, and where's some other ones we picked up? Trouble Chocolate was actually kind of funny. But yeah, they were like $3 each on DVD. But check out, definitely check out Retro Crush. I love this. I love this. And keep an eye on Crunchyroll, because something's going on. Something is definitely up with Crunchyroll. We'll see what they look like a year from now, but I think they're either going to get sold off or rolled into HBO Max or become something else entirely. Who knows? So please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk to you guys later. Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.